Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
When you wake up in the morning, yeah.
Yeah. Where you want to go, where you want to go, where you want to be tonight. And I'm telling you, I have to be closer to being a McFly now. Like, that gap is smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah? Right. We'll leave it there. It's been a week arguing about it.
Well, well, in that case, I need to say Gabby King is an actual friend. I'm not using her to try and get the 1975. If I was, I'd have a different tactic. Well, yeah, maybe you are. You know, if that helps, you believe that you'll be a McFly, then
just give it to me. I'm a very busy
on
boy.
a list. You're probably on the list.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just put me on the list. You know.
I don't know where. I think so. Ollie Fackers, he's on speed dial, so he's in the top 10. Yeah.
Question. I mean, who's using speed dial?
Well, this is it.
But
more a turn of phrase.
Yeah. What I'll do is when the new studio's built, I'll do some sweet McFly drum covers.
Okay.
And I'll see how high up that list I can get. We'll get Harry on. We'll get Harry on the show, sure. And then I'll go to Big Mad Andy's quiz with Harry Judd. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be cancelled.
Yeah.
Then I'll go play pool with Harry Judd. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do like 5 colours in her hair or something. You got to do something niche, I reckon. You know.
Yeah, one of the B-side, one of the album tracks. I'll find out what's his favourite.
Memory Lane. That used to be one of my favourite McFly songs, Memory Lane. So
never heard of it. Doesn't matter. Exactly. I could still do the gig.
Do this.
I can learn it. Yeah. Trust the chart. Trust the chart. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Drum and Drummer. Pre-recorded, as they all are, but you're in France at the moment.
Yeah, I'll be in France.
I would like your top 3 things about France.
What?
And I
off me dome.
I've got 3 things in mind, and I want to see if if we're in sync with the top 3 things about France.
Are we going to say them at the same time?
No, I will be honest with you and tell you if you said what I'm thinking.
Okay, croissants, baguettes, brie.
Okay, we were together on one of them.
Croissants. Yeah.
What
else you got?
Milka chocolate.
Is that French?
It's generally European, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And the Louvre.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking of culture, and you were just gobble food.
No, I was just thinking food. Yeah. I think today I'll be at a pool party because Amy Lee sent me the itinerary. I think it's Thursday.
Speedos?
Yeah. It came up bikinis or budgies. So
they're very budgies only in the continent.
Yeah, I spoke to Elliot about it. He was like, "Well, get a, make sure it's colourful." I said, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Well, you want to be peacocking, don't you? You want to be standing out in your budgies."
And there's not a lot of material to stand out with.
No.
And I know you like them thong ones, so the
Love
cheeks are out.
Ones.
No?
Yeah. And I think the fact that I don't know anyone there, you know, I am gonna
have carte blanche. You know,
get to know people pretty quick, or it'll be so embarrassing it won't matter if I never see them again anyway, apart from Amy Lee and her husband. So yeah, I'm in France right now, so that's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah,
France is cool. You heard it here first.
Let's hope it all goes well. Right, shall I talk about this festival that I played?
Yes.
That was a good day out. That was a surprisingly good day out. So it was in Swansea.
Okay.
With the Lainey Wilson Experience.
Just to recap, this is the band you join. It's a country artist tribute act.
Yep.
Guitarist and bassist were shit. You pushed for their removal from the band.
Yep.
Got a couple of ringers in. Good players.
Yeah.
And you went to Swansea, of all places, famed for its country music fanaticism.
Big time.
And what I saw of it was a bloody big crowd.
Yeah, it was nice. It was well, as I've said, my only goal is to just play big places in front of a lot of people.
Yeah, you're done with the little schmucks, aren't you?
Well, I wouldn't say
Shall we?
that. I'd say, you know, I've just that's always been the goal. But I don't care who it's with. You know what I mean? I could be playing the. Do you know what I saw once? There was a drummer playing at the Tweenies CBBC thing at Wembley Arena. I went, I'd do that. Because
Yeah.
you're playing drums at Wembley. Do you know what I mean?
I think you do anything.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
This will
Pretty
bring me on
much.
to another topic, which we will get onto following, because I want to hear about this festival.
Shit. I want to hear about
no.
the other topic.
Oh
Okay.
no! It's nothing. It's just it was a good chat in the van on the gig the other week. So
Okay.
about
Okay.
what you'd play, where you wouldn't, what you'd do. Anyway, carry on.
Got you,
George.
got you,
Carry
got
on,
you.
please.
So it was a long drive, and we kind of picked everyone up en route. So I drove up to Georgie and Ben's, and then got in their big van, and then we picked up, I can't remember which order, but we picked up a Dep guitarist called Jack Rowe. He appeared out of his house. Oh, that's me, you know?
Yeah.
Have I just... Sorry, am I on
Imagine if
guitar as
I'd
well?
have been on the gig. We'll put this
Oh.
picture up.
Oh, God.
Will Champion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's drummer heavy.
Yeah.
All them other bearded bald blokes.
Yeah. Some can't name. Who's that fat chef who's now thinner? Tom Kerridge?
Cambridge, he's in.
He's in.
Tom Davis did a bit of.
Tom Davis. Maybe that's who I'm thinking of.
Maybe did a bit of
Yeah,
MC.
Tom Davis. He's sort of like the king of the bald bearded men. I'm sort of like at the bottom. I don't
He's
think there's anyone...
He's the top Russian doll.
Yeah, the Russian doll situation. I don't think there's anyone smaller than me in our Russian doll bald bearded thing.
Yet to meet.
Oh my God, I've got to tell you this. Very quick side note. So the music teacher at the school I teach at, I looked at him last week and thought, you got to shave your head. This is ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's like thick on the sides, but thinning on top, and he's clinging on. There's no way he listens to this. It would be fine.
You
So
know
turn up
when there's that whole thing about, like, you know, if a girl feels uncomfortable in a bar or something, they can ask for a particular drink.
Yeah,
and
ask for Angela,
bar-
stuff like that.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. Is there something that already exists, or should there be something where, as a bald man, you can indicate to a thinning man it's time?
Yeah.
Like a card.
Maybe
you
I
could give
just-
them.
Maybe I just did it with my eyes, because I spoke to this music teacher last week for the first time properly, you know, and I was looking at him going, that's mental. That is mental, you know. I wasn't actually like staring at his dome, you know, but still. Anyway, I turned up to teach yesterday. It's the talk of the school. Every kid came into my class and, have you seen, I won't say his name, have you seen, he shaved his head? I was like, has he? Almost, because, like, was you're bald, George, you know? And then sure enough, I saw him later on. And it was a bit like in Breaking Bad, you know, Walter suddenly just shaves his head and turns up to class, and all the kids are like, what the fuck, you know? And I was like, isn't it funny? To a kid, that is mind-blowing. Even to me, I was like, wow, that's a different person, you know?
Your
And I'm
little
30 years
glance
old.
did the trick.
Yeah, well, this is it, you know? But I'd love to have a chat and be like, what made you take the plunge? Because I'm not saying it was me, but I think I
He
must
saw
have.
you, thought, do you know what? Looks good.
Yeah.
Does he have a
100%.
beard?
He's got a little thing going on, some sort of goatee thing. That's why it was so Breaking Bad, you know? It's like
Yeah.
a ginger goatee.
Maybe he's cooking meth with an ex-student.
Maybe.
Or
Maybe he
got
is.
cancer.
Yeah, this is it. Anyway, back to the
don't know.
festival. So I turned up, and the guy, I was like, oh, bloody hell, that's me, you know? Van journey there was good. Yeah, I obviously had to go all the way to Swansea. I was a bit worried about, like, what time we're going to get there or needed to get there, because everyone was running late, you know? And, but it turned out we weren't on till 8. Prime festival slot.
Good slot.
Lovely slot, you know?
After dinner, not too late. The
this is it.
lovely chill of the evening brings the sunset.
Ooh, I wouldn't
Sweet.
say it was a chill, very hot. So I was chatting
Well,
to,
you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. God, why do you have to ruin my words? No, I was chatting to there'd been a Taylor Swift tribute on before called Fearlessly Taylor, I think. Anyway, and they were like, that was the hottest gig we've ever done. Because when you're on stage, the sun was just in your face. But it was very cool because as soon as we got on and started setting up, I was like, oh, yeah, it's probably the biggest crowd I've ever seen. Cool. Let's hope it goes well, you know? And yeah, we set up, but it's the same as the last festival we did. There was no sound check, you know? It was kind of like you do sort of like a line check everything's good, and then you just sort of hope for the best.
Really?
There's no like, hey, can I give a bit more of this in the monitor? You know, it's like as soon as every instrument has been checked, they just go, that's that. There's no like, do you want any more of this? Do you want this in your monitor? You know, you just have to hope for the best. And then if something goes really quiet, you just say to the sound man, as it did at one point, Georgie's vocal just dropped out for everyone. And we were like, what the fuck? So I've been trying to get the sound man's attention, you know, like, it was quite cool, actually. I'd never done that before when you're on a festival stage. You know, you see bands do it and you see them pointing at the monitor guy. And
point, and then the up.
That, you know, point at that, yeah. Can I have that up? Yeah. Yeah.
That's guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
That's bass.
Yeah.
That's keys.
You're aware this is audio only. No one can see.
That's vocal.
I'll make this
But
into a
people
video.
know because it's the international language of the
Yes, is it?
monitor level adjustment. So they already know.
Yeah.
They already know. But you can
And
click
he
that.
wasn't getting it. I was playing drums one-handed, pointing at Georgie.
That's the tricky thing as the drummer, one-handed. Keyboard player, take your left hand off, you can go free. Guitarist, strum a chord, your hand is free for at least a few beats.
Yeah, exactly.
Singers, hands free all the time.
Do what you want.
Do what you want.
So, yeah, it was great.
Quick question about kit. Did you use your kit? Was it festival backline
It was
kit?
another festival kit.
What did you take with you?
Breakables, snare, cymbals, kick pedal, sticks.
What was the kit like?
Drone. It was okay, but the high tom was very small, so bit of adjustment.
10-inch?
It might have, I think 10-inch. But in my head,
An
it
8,
might have even
a sole 8-inch rack tom would be mental.
In my head, I want to say 8, but I think I'm just being dramatic. I
8
think it
is
probably was 10.
tiny.
But
Could be an 8 though.
I won't say 8 inches is tiny. But it was but
Penis.
but no, it was great. It was great. There was a few standout moments at one point. There's this bit where it drops down and she sings a note for 2 bars and then it comes back in, and when it comes back in they set off some confetti cannon, which was massive. And what's funny is the last festival, they did the same. Like, they must have gone, someone has a confetti, like, okay, you've got 1 confetti per show or whatever, make it count, you know. And it was great, you know, you hit the cymbal, as soon as you hit it, bang, you know, just confetti flies down. And I was like, this is pretty cool, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Just sort of watching it land on people's heads as the sun's setting, you know. I was like, this is all right. But yeah, the gig was great. It's just really fun. There's still teething issues.
How long
did
you play?
An hour.
Hour.
Yeah.
Nice.
Where we timed it. It was exactly 59 minutes. So kind of nailed it. I think the problem was, though, we weren't as loud as we could be. Apparently, there's a lot of noise restrictions. And Georgie's husband said, like, if you stood even too far back, it was like the waltzers, you know, the fucking fairground rides were louder than us, you know. But the setup was insane. Like, you know, you looked at that stage and it was like, Chris, who knows a lot about sound, was like, this could blow your fucking ears off, you know, 100, 200 meters away. But they must have had some sort, I mean, because it was like music off at 11. That is it.
Well, even Victorious has like sound restrictions.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So,
what it's always so quiet.
If the wind's blowing the wrong way.
Oh my God, yeah.
Shit.
I know. I've always said when I saw Noel Gallagher one year, it was terrible. Whereas when he wasn't, you know, playing and he was just chatting to the crowd, you couldn't hear anything. You know, it's like, why have you got Noel Gallagher and then turn him down? Anyway, it was great. It was great. It was awesome. It was just very cool to be like, oh, this is more of a thing. Because what I keep saying is, you know, I'm doing more tribute stuff this year, and it's nice because it does seem like there's more trajectory to it. Obviously, I'd want to be doing original stuff. I think that's kind of like the goal for anyone. But you know, with
The tribute stuff, you know, it's covers, but it's doesn't limit you to just functions or weddings.
No, exactly.
There's theatre shows. There are tribute. There's festivals.
Exactly.
This brings me nicely on, actually, to talk about the Isle of Wight festival.
Yeah.
So, it was on the other week. And just flicking through, some of it was live on Sky Arts.
Yeah.
Let's pop it on. It's The Cause. Yeah. I pushed the brother out the way, and I'd,
Yeah.
So a couple of things. One, then we were looking through who's playing at the Isle of Wight festival. Just went on the artists A to Z. Scroll through. So many tribute bands.
Yeah.
There were so many. There were 2 Foo Fighters tribute bands.
Mental.
2 Blink-182 tribute bands. Like there were
Wow.
multiple tribute bands doing the same thing.
Yeah.
No wonder original music's dying.
Yeah.
But anyway, turned on watching The Cause, and then The Cause are on. They're getting on a bit now, and I'd say are quite irrelevant as a band.
Yeah.
Playing main stage at the Isle of Wight festival.
Yeah.
So fair play.
Yeah.
And I said to my partner, what are they doing the other 364 days a year? You
Yeah.
know? And that is an ignorant comment because I'm sure they're doing stuff. But they obviously, you've got the brother who plays guitar, you got the singer, the drummer, and the one that plays the violin. Yeah. But they had a bassist and an electric guitarist, right? And then turned it off and watched something better. And then turned it back on, and someone was singing, playing on the main, and I was like, I recognise the song, but I don't know who it is. And it was Amy McDonald. Do you remember Amy McDonald?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she does that song. She sounds very Scottish when she sings.
Yeah.
Her in-ears had the Scottish flag on. Her microphone had the Scottish flag
Yeah.
on. We get it, you're Scottish.
Yeah, you're Scottish. Yeah. Well
yeah.
done.
Well done.
Yeah. Paolo
Do you want
doesn't
independence or
preach
not?
it that much.
I don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We don't care.
Is she the one that had that song? It's like, when you wake up in the morning and yeah.
Yeah.
Where you want to go? Where you want to go? Where you want to be tonight?
Yeah. Weird. Anyway.
Yeah.
So she's got her band, right? And again, so I was thinking, right, we've spoken to a lot of young drummers on this show, and we know a lot of people who are on the up. They're on the up, yeah. They're with artists who are on the up, trying to go up, We've spoken
Some
to
are
people
on the
who
down, and they don't know it. But anyway, carry on.
But you're looking, and I'm not trying to diss anyone here, but you're watching Amy McDonald, and you're like, well, you've had your up, and you are now nostalgia.
Yeah.
That's all you are now.
Yeah.
And so, is there a point where, as a session musician, you're playing someone, do you take, I don't know her band, whether they've been with her the whole time, whether she's had to replace people, people jump on and off, but would you take playing main stage at Isle of Wight Festival, but it's for Amy McDonald?
Yes, obviously.
Right. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But you're never going to go up. There's
Don't
no...
care. On main stage.
Yeah, we discussed this. You do anything. You do fucking anything, right?
What, you wouldn't play main stage Isle of Wight?
No, it's not saying I wouldn't do it.
No.
But you're... I don't know. It's that weird... Of course you'd do it. But there's a lot of music. I saw a bit of Lightning Seeds. That music doesn't excite me at all.
No. I think what the thing is, you'd be aware that there'd be no trajectory with it. It wouldn't be like joining, playing for Dylan or Katie Baser or
maybe you get that
Maisie
one
Peters,
peak a year at the festival. Like,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
exactly.
It's not like
Yeah.
you're solidly like,
No.
this is, you just got to play the hits from the nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly.
And ultimately, does that become a similar feeling to playing weddings where you're like, it's not like you've got a buzz, you're just, the people on the main stage would always be there.
Yeah.
People enjoying it. Sure, I just found this odd. But then I saw a little bit of Sting. Fair play. It's just the three of them on stage. Just three of them. I thought that was quite cool. Because, slap at the bass, isn't it? Slap at the bass, man.
No, I do know what you mean. Yeah, there are some acts that perhaps are just, they're not the new exciting thing. That will be, they'll play it, and when they play the hit, I'm sure it's amazing. But it's not gonna. I don't know. It's not like, hey, we're number one in Japan. I think we're gonna make it over
and
there.
I think it's different if you're a band like you're all in a band and
Yeah.
you have that up and down, and then you do the 20-year nostalgia thing and you all sort of come back and do it. I think that's different. But if you're sessioning, because you see a lot of these people playing these festivals, like Lightning Seeds, the frontman looks so old.
Yeah.
Young drummer, you know, really
Yeah,
guitarist
yeah.
look like 20.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's great, but I don't know, is it... I've never been in that situation, so I wonder how they feel. Do they feel like, well, it's job's a job, and I play these great shows? Or, you know, because if you think of all the people playing the West End, right? There's going to be a show which is the worst.
Yeah.
And it's like, which West End show you do that one? Oh, but you're playing in the West End. You know what I mean? It's that kind of weird juxtaposition.
The Wonder Year gig I did last weekend or whenever it was, I said to Elliot afterwards, I said, that was my worst gig this year. He was like, oh, I thought it was all right. I was like, yeah, it was all right. Which means I'm having a pretty good year, to be honest. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like, don't know, where do you judge it on? But no, I who was I talking to the other day? Someone that plays for one of those people. It was famous 20 years ago, and is sort of still slogging it. But he has a great time. You know, he just sort of. I think you probably know. You know, it's not going to get bigger than this. But also, likewise, it probably won't get smaller. You know, it's probably she'll always.
But it won't get smaller. But you're probably doing a lot less throughout the year.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're probably constantly working. Just every now and then you do a bit of festivals in the summer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It might be complete ignorance. Like, but
yeah.
Are the Cores playing in November? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
maybe.
You know.
Well, there's
but
a lot
you have
of
to
bands.
Go, where's the new bands? Where's the new bands?
Oh, well, that is the problem. I'll just say there are a lot of bands that are surprising if you actually delve into them, like Electric Six. So my friend Owen from Mallorca, he was actually a fan of Electric Six, and I used to go like, oh, what, the band that did Gay Bar? You know, he was like, oh, God, I hate when people say that. I was like, what? He was like, I love them. He was like, they're a brilliant band. They had that song that kind of made them sort of famous or whatever. But he was like, I see them every tour they play, and I think they just tour throughout the year. They still can just sell out, not big places, but you know, like Wedgwood room size places throughout the year, and they have enough people that still love them. You know,
you just got to have enough people. Because my mum sees James Morrison, like she's been to see James Morrison every time he tours.
That's who my mate played for. Yeah, well, not mate. I met him once, but yeah, him.
And you just need enough people to fill the seats.
Yeah.
On that tour, and bosh, off you go.
Well, I was talking to Brighton Swanee the other day, and
Brighton
he spotted James Blunt recently, and he said James Blunt did a whole arena tour last year in Europe, like 20,000 seat arenas every night, and you go, is he still that big? And it's like, yeah, apparently he is. But apparently he did it last year and went, that was good. Should we do it again this year? And then they just did it again. You know, it's just like, because why not? You know, it's like if you can make hay while the sun shines, as they say. So anyway, the festival was good. Bloody long drive though. Bloody long drive. You know.
Yeah.
I got home at 4 again. You know, and I'm the last on the route. You know, it's like we drop off my twin and drop off Chris, and then Georgie and Ben get back, and they're like, "All right, get back safe." And I'm like,
I mean, Brighton's all very well in that, isn't it? Oh, it's London by the sea, you know, and all that stuff.
Yeah. But when you got to play Swansea,
not much shit happens east of Brighton.
No, absolutely
Does
not.
You're quick to London. Majority, you got to go west.
Yeah.
Like us, and I think that's what the Pet Shop Boys are talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although a lot of people seem to be going to Margate, so
I think that's up and coming again. It's had the thing. Yeah, my parents went a couple of years ago after my cousin's wedding.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
And it'll come round. It's cyclical. It's all cyclical. It's like areas of London. When I was there, East London was a fucking shithole. And then all of a sudden, everyone's going to Hoxton.
Yeah, it's weird when they get gentrified.
Peckham,
though.
shithole. Everyone's going to Peckham. Then people are going to Clapham. It changes, baby.
It's strange when it gets gentrified, though, but it still feels like it's rough. You know, I've been through bits of London where it'd be like, oh, this is a really
gourmet burger kitchen in there.
Yeah, this is a really clean playground, and this is like you've really made the community centre look nice from the outside, but
could get stabbed over there.
Yeah, it's still, you know.
And that man is doing a poo in a phone box.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
So, anyway, let's move on. That's good. You had a good festival, mate. The crowd, it did look really good.
It was exciting. Yeah.
That was nice.
Um,
Nice. Right. Do you want a little bit of a function band?
Yeah.
I don't know what the phrase is. I don't know what the phrase is. Anyway, so basically, had a 1 year gig booked for August. Sometime in August. I mentioned the date. We got a notification that this gig was pending cancellation. Pending cancellation. Cancellation of wedding gigs, it's always tricky. There's a thing called, I'm sure people know, force majeure. Happens with insurance and things like that. It's basically like an act of God. And COVID was a force majeure thing where cancellations, you couldn't really claim for your deposits, blah, 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 blah. But then it's like, okay, pending cancellation. Then we got a follow-up email, right? Just sort of explaining, because certain timestamps before the actual day, once the deposit's paid, they are required, as per the signed contract, to pay a proportion of the fee, up to 100%, depending on when they cancel. But anyway, it was cancelled by the bride's father.
Right.
And this was the reasoning. It is, as you say, a very difficult time for them both, and I really don't want to pass on too much detail. Essentially, an incident occurred between them that made them both realise that the marriage was not tenable.
Someone's cheated.
Yeah, I mean, that's your first thought, isn't it? You know what I mean? Someone's been slinging it around.
Yeah.
But the fair play, the father of the bride has happy that they've got to pay 100%. They've got to pay 100% of the fee, right? Now, I checked in our contracts, right? Up to 60 days, you got to pay 100%. 61 days to 90, you pay 75%, right? When do they cancel? 59 days. 59 days. 1 day away, you know, reveal the affair a bit earlier.
Yeah.
You'd have saved yourself 25% on that. But, yeah. It's funny,
Will you get the money, though?
funny,
I mean, the amount of times I've had gigs cancelled and tailored and you don't get anything. But you might have it different because you've got a good relationship
they've spoken to the father of the bride and he has understood the cancellation term.
Yeah.
So when it comes, I think in this case, it clearly is their fault.
Yeah.
So, you know, some people are decent enough to go, it's their fault. These are the terms we've signed up for.
Yeah.
You know, people with deposits at the blacksmiths, you pay a deposit, it's non-refundable. If you cancel or move the session, they try and cancel or move the session. You say, oh, you lose your deposit, kick up a fuss. It's 40 quid, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't understand it. Oh, it's unfair. Why are you?
Yeah.
The whole point of a fucking deposit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then some people, you explain, they go, yeah, fine. Or even a rehearsal, we need to cancel, send us the bill. Some people are decent human beings, and some people are absolute slugs.
Yeah, go and do
And
your
it
Doctor
seems
Who
like-
somewhere else. Cut that out if you want.
So, you know, I mean, it does remain to be seen will they actually pay the money. But when, you know, we had one recently cancel or postpone to next year and then cancel because the groom's having real health issues, you know. And in that regard, you go, well, the wedding's a year away. Like, fine, cancel it. Don't, you know, don't care. But 59 days away, I mean, you know, you got to...
Yeah.
But, someone's obviously just strayed from the path of a monogamous relationship.
I wonder which one.
Or, I mean, it does say essentially an incident occurred between them that made them both realise the marriage was not tenable. I mean, it could be putting the toilet seat up.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe. Yeah.
Could be putting the knives and forks in the wrong way round.
Putting the laundry actually in the basket, you know?
Yeah. Loading and unloading a dishwasher.
Yeah. Her
You know?
mint tea tree shampoo shower gel fucking oozing.
Yeah.
What's all that about, you know?
He doesn't want the live, laugh, love sign up
Yeah.
in the house. you
Burnt crumbs in the butter, you know? Loads of things. Yeah. Toothpaste.
Not-
still open, you know?
Squeezed from the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, all these things. Could be a number of things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Someone's
Or he could be having it off with his secretary, you know? So-
or her sister.
Or her
We don't
sister,
know.
or she could be
We
having it
don't
off with his dad, you know? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's a messy
He
old
seems
world.
to know a lot about it. You know.
This is it, yeah.
But anyway, I wish him all the best.
Lots to think about there.
Yeah. You came down to the studio the other day.
Oh yeah,
Gave me a little-
yeah.
Gave me a little hand. So the demolition is going well.
Yeah, I didn't
James
do
and Tom-
much. I'll be honest.
No. I mean, the traffic was awful for you. That's
Traffic was awful, and
Hottest
I
day of the
turned up,
year.
and Elliot was there. You know.
Yeah, and he just ripped basically everything.
I don't think I was needed at all. I think Elliot could have taken those glass doors to yours, but it was fun to see the studio in its rubble glory. You know.
Yeah, there were some bags of plasterboard rubble upstairs. You and Elliot very generously offered to help out because I had some heavy stuff that needed moving home, and I just had some heavy stuff upstairs. And with my back, and it just needed two people, at least two, and all these bags of plasterboard rubble upstairs. And for me, it's like I take one at a time. I have to be careful with lifting stuff, walk them down, put them down. Elliot picked up two in each hand and ran down the stairs.
Yeah.
Man, what needs moving? This? Oh, yeah. He's just picked that big piece of wood up himself. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just
Insane.
climbed up the ladder. But so that was very helpful of you guys. But then we went to McDonald's. We treated you to a Mackey's lunch. Elliot did his classic 2 meals.
Yeah.
Only made, we only paid for one of them, which I think is.
Yeah.
But he has 2 full-blown large meals.
Yeah.
And it's
Like
amazing.
it's nothing. Yeah. And
Yeah.
he doesn't look full afterwards. I wouldn't say he was like, oh, that was a lot. I shouldn't have done that. You know.
I have a pizza and I'm wheezing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could be wheezing after a big arch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he has
Yeah.
the 2 full large fries. It's not like I'll have a meal and a burger.
No.
2 large
Little
fries.
burger
2
chaser.
large drinks.
Yeah.
That was good. And then we took the glass doors home, didn't we? And then
Yeah.
we had a game of darts.
Game of darts for the first time in a while, and we're not as good. I mean, you're good, but we're not as good as we used to be. I'd say. You know, I remember. I could be making this up. There was games where our averages were 80. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm making.
Yeah. I think I maybe not that high.
Oh,
But
maybe
we
not.
were playing like 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
Competitive
Maybe before we got to
situation.
like the last start, that it might be like.
yeah,
80,
like
you know?
first 9 average was high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was. It's sort of. I don't know. Felt like I want to play more because going. This is annoying.
It's addictive, yeah. Because you want to hit the plum.
Yeah.
When you don't, you want to keep going until you do.
Yeah. This is it.
Yeah. But I hit a 180, didn't I?
You did. You hit a
Competitive
180.
180.
Yeah.
That was nice.
How many have you done of them since?
I don't
playing
know. I mean, I
anything?
haven't played much the last couple of months because of the studio renovation. But I mean, let's have a quick look. I think I've probably hit around 40 180 since the start of the year.
40.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, that's good.
Yeah. So, and then I sealed the 5-0 win with a pop 56
Yeah,
checkout.
I mean, there's no way I was going to win any of them, to be honest. But
it was good though. Like you've
good.
got a good throw. Chateau can.
just so can the powers
Straight on the
there.
board.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
great. It's great
Good
to play
fun.
darts again, and it was cool to see what your studio will be.
Yeah, because you saw all the stuff sort of in there now.
Yeah.
The new build starts quite soon. So
Imminent.
it starts in mid-July now. That's booked in. So I'm sort of scrabbling around trying to get everything ready for that. Ready for the build to start. 'Cause there's a lot that needs doing beforehand. Plus still trying to get the blacksmiths demolished.
Yeah,
So it's all go. It's all go.
all go,
But it's
baby.
exciting. It's exciting. Yeah,
Rock
yeah,
and roll,
yeah.
baby.
Rock and roll, baby. You got anything else, boy?
Nah, that'll do. Rock and roll, baby. You gotta
Rock
stop
and
doing
roll,
that, Harry.
baby. Harry, come on, mate.
This is mental. You do this all the time. You're
But
so
Dougie,
close.
it's just rock and roll, baby.
Harry, I put my
We'll see you
fucking
next week.
neck on the line for you. Right. Bye.
See you next week. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.